Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalaakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Deshatarini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Namo Brahmana Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha Jagadhitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Te Namaha Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanasute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratishe Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय नमः दास ठाकुर की जय श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय हरे कृष्णा वेलकम एवरीवन
Hare Krishna Mataji.
हरे कृष्णा Okay, you can see my screen.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, so yesterday we covered two sections, A and B, Arjuna's request and Krishna's description of universal form, and Sanjaya's description of universal form. So today we will see uh, Krishna's Kala Rupa. That is, Krishna says that I am the time. So just become my instrument. And then Arjuna's prayers. And the last section, section E, only pure devotees can see Krishna's true supreme form. So, Arjuna's description of Kala Rupa. So now Krishna is exhibiting so initially we saw the glorious form of the Lord, right? That was not really the scary one, but then it was with varied colors and all decorated very nicely. That form we saw of the Lord. So now Krishna is going to show the time form where it is more ferocious form of the Lord, right? The Kala Rupa. So now Arjuna is going to describe that. Anadimadhyantamanantaviryam anantabahum shashisuryanetram pashyami tvam deeptahutashavaktam swatejasa vishwamidam tapantam. You are without origin, middle or end. Your glory is unlimited and you have numberless arms, and the sun and moon are your eyes. I see you with blazing fire coming forth from your mouth, burning this entire universe by your own radiance. So Prabhupada always says that Krishna's eyes are compared, like sun is compared to the hot eye, and the moon is compared to the cold eye of the Lord. So actually, in the sense, if we see indirectly, we are worshipping the Lord wherever we see, like the sun, right? People worship sun, and animal, and also animals also, like cow we worship, and there are trees that we worship. So whatever we see in the universe, indirectly we worship. So Prabhupada says, why don't you water the roots instead of watering the leaves and the branches? No? So here he's explaining about the uh, Krishna's wonderful form. Yes. Although you are one, you are spread throughout the sky and planets and all the space between. O great one, as I behold this terrible form, I see that all planetary are perplexed. So everybody are frightened, including the devatas. Devatas, they are actually, I mean, nobody has seen this form, right? Only Arjuna is seeing. So all the demigods are surrendering and entering into you. They're very much afraid. And with folding hands, they are singing the Vedic hymns because Krishna will be pleased when somebody sings the Vedic hymns. That is why, they want to please the Lord. So they want to calm down the Kalarupa form of the Lord. So they're reciting the Vedic hymns. All the various manifestation of Lord Shiva, the Adityas, the Vasus, the Sadhyas, the Vishvedevas, the two Ashvis, the Maruts, the four fathers, the Gandharvas, the Yakshas, and Asuras, and perfected demigods are beholding you in wonder. So all the demigods of different planetary system, because he is able to see everything. Now, Krishna told Arjuna that all that you want to see in the past, future, and present, you are going to see it. So he's seeing the all the devatas from the different planetary system, right? And they're all praying the Lord for protection. O mighty armed one, all the planets with their demigods are disturbed at seeing your many faces, eyes, arms, bellies, and legs, and your terrible teeth. And as they are disturbed, so I am. So Arjuna is also afraid. So he's admitting it, right? Arjuna has been very expressive throughout, if we see in Bhagavad Gita, right? Whenever, whatever, like, he's not accepting everything when Krishna says, he counter questions. So that's how, like, that is what is said, like, tadvidi pranipatena pariprashnena, no? For everything he questions. And here also he's openly expressing that I am also disturbed, not just there. Oh, all pervading Vishnu, I can no longer maintain my equilibrium. Seeing your radiance, I am disturbed. So why is Arjuna disturbed? Because he is a jiva, right? He's only a jiva, though he's a he is a pure devotee of the Lord. But now, since he has Krishna brings him to bewilderment while telling the Bhagavad Gita, right, in the chapter 2, after when Krishna says, he gives a hint like, just see the Kuru army, like then only he starts to feel, okay, they are all my people. So now he obviously is disturbed because he always thought Krishna to be his friend. And now he's seeing, he never expected, like he understood that in like in the previous chapter, that Krishna is the Supreme Lord, but then he never had seen this such a ferocious form, right? So he's scared. Yes, Mataji, you want to, Swati Mataji, you want to sing this, I mean,
Yes,
the
Mataji.
chant? Yeah.
दंष्ट्राकराळानि च ते मुखानि दृष्ट्वैव कालानलसन्निभानि दिशो न जाने न लभे च शर्मा प्रसीद देवेश जगन्निवासा. Translation: O Lord of Lords, O refugee of the worlds, please be gracious to me. I cannot keep my balance. Seeing this, your blazing death-like faces and awful teeth. In all directions I am bewildered. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, what does this indicate? So, everywhere he is able to see now what is going to happen, the future. Krishna is exhibiting what is going to happen, because Arjuna was thinking that he is the reason for, he don't want to become the reason of death of so many great people, and he is so attached to his great grandfather Bhishma and all his guru, right? So now he's seeing that annihilation of all these great warriors. He's able to see with his own eyes, and then it just shows that Arjuna is going to become victorious, says Prabhupada here. So all the sons of Dhritarashtra, along with their allied kings, and Bhishma, Drona, and Karna, and all our soldiers are rushing into your mouths, their heads smashed by your fearful teeth. I see that some are being crushed between your teeth as well. So all the everyone, including the even the Pandavas side, all the soldiers uh, are going to die. He's able to see it, and there's an analogy here uh, which he gives that as the rivers flow into the sea, so all these great warriors enter into your blazing mouths and perish. So this is the one, right? So we know that very small rivulets that join the ocean, right? So similarly, everything they are entering into the huge mouth of the universal form of the Lord. So all the warriors. And another analogy here, Yata Pradiptam Jwalanam Pat. Sorry, Mataji, you continue. I forgot. Yes, Fatima Mataji.
यथा नदीनां बहवाम्बुवेगः समुद्रमेवाभिमुखा द्रवन्ति तथा तवामि नरलोकवीरा विसन्ति वक्त्राण्यभिविज्वलन्ति. Translation: I see all people rushing full speed into your mouths, as moths dash to destruction in a blazing fire. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So the moths, they are very much attracted towards the light, no? So they go near to light and then they die. So similarly, this is the analogy which is given here. How speed people are rushing towards only to die. Yes, Mataji, continue.
लेलीह्यसे ग्रसमानसमन्तात् लोकान् समग्रान् वदनैर्ज्वलद्भिः तेजोभिरापूर्य जगत् समग्रं भासस्तवोग्रा प्रतपन्ति विष्णु. Translation: O Vishnu, I see you devouring all people from all sides with your flaming mouths, covering all the universe with your effulgence. You are manifest with terrible scorching rays. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, continue, Mataji.
आख्याहि मे को भवानुग्ररूपो नमोऽस्तु ते देववर प्रसीद विज्ञातुमिच्छामि भवन्तमाद्यं न हि प्रजानामि तव प्रवृत्तिम्. Translation: O Lord of Lords, so fierce of form, please tell me who you are. I offer my obeisances unto you. Please be gracious to me. You are the primal Lord. I want to know about you, for I do not know what your mission is. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So obviously he's seeing all people dying, right? They are all rushing towards the universal form, the mouth of the Lord. So he want to know. So here Arjuna asked two questions. What are they? So he's in who are you, right? And what is your mission? So who are you? Because you don't seem to be Supreme Lord like what he imagined, right? He was thinking Lord to be very Saumya Roop and all that, but here he looks very ferocious, and he's taking away all the people in his mouth. So all are dying. So he want to know what is your mission. So why Arjuna asked this question? So Arjuna has seen, right? He knew Krishna as his friend and supreme personality of Godhead, but he is now puzzled by various forms exhibited by Krishna. So now in this section C, 32 to 34, Krishna explains, Kalosmi loka kshayakrit, Thai maya become my instrument. Mataji.
Sri Bhagavanuvacha Kalosmi lokakshaykrit pravruddho lokan samahattumiha pravritta rute pitvam na bhavishyanti sarve eva sthita pratyanikeshu yodha. Translation: The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Time I am, the great destroyer of the worlds, and I have come here to destroy all people, with the exception of you, the Pandavas. All the soldiers on both sides will be slain. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Yes, some noise. Somebody can mute. Some noise. Luna Mataji. So here Krishna says time. So can anyone tell me what are the five things, right? Five subject matters of Bhagavad Gita?
Soul,
Yeah.
super soul,
Can you? Yeah.
Atma,
Jiva, right? That is called
Jiva,
as Jiva.
Paramatma, Kala,
Huh, Kala.
Prakriti,
Huh, and Karma.
Karma.
Right. Yeah. So this is the Kala feature of the Lord. So this is where the topic which mentions about the time. So Krishna also represent time. So time is said to be a impersonal feature of the Lord because we can't see that, no, it does not have any form. But then it represents Krishna. And in the material world, everything will go to destruction. And Krishna will bring the Kala Rupa is compared to like a Kala Sarpa. Means Kala Sarpa is very poisonous snake, and it's if it bites someone, it is death is for sure. So similarly, this time destroys everything, whatever it could be auspicious or inauspicious. We see, right, so many things. Nothing can stay in front of time. So time destroys everything. So time factor is compared to the Sudarshan chakra of the Lord. No, this is because it is said that the Sudarshan chakra is always in motion and it keeps on destroying everything except the one, means the one who is not going to the Krishna, right? Which is not related to Krishna. It just keeps on destroying. So it is said like that. So this time factor is also the I mean in the material world, right? This is the cause of creation. But then in the spiritual time, the same time that becomes eternal. It doesn't get, I mean, there is no like, there is no past, present, future in the spiritual world. But only in the material world, we see that everything, I mean, the time destroys everything. Because we example only, even if we take our body also, from the time we are born, every day we are like one day ahead for the death, no? I mean, every day there'll be like the changes is there from the baby born. There are so many changes, baby, I mean the from mother's womb to the boyhood, and the, I mean the baby, and then boyhood, and then he become young man, old man, like that. So we see so much of changes when the time runs, no? So time is said to be destroyer of everything. So here, uh, so the wheel of time, right? So which destroys everything. So Krishna, like for atheist, it is more uh, difficult because we see in that troop also. I think it will come where the demons are rushing, and I mean they're afraid because whoever don't surrender to Krishna, Krishna comes in the Kala Rupa. So that only during the death somebody can know. So Prabhupada says that will be a litmus test, like how a person leaves the body. So based on his karma, right? If he has engaged in more of sinful activity, may not be this life, it can be of previous lives also, then the death will be very difficult. We see people suffer, and I mean, death won't come to them, even if they're suffering for, I mean, it very horrible, right, for them. So it is compared often to a like a kitten holding a its kitten holding a rat for the non-devotees. If it's for devotees, Krishna will protect them, right? Krishna will protect them, and it is like a kitten holding its baby, the kitten. I mean, the cat holding the kitten. So in that way, that for the atheist is forced to death, right? And Krishna takes away everything from them, and everything happens as per the Krishna's plan, right? Yes, Mataji.
तस्मात् त्वमुत्तिष्ठ यशो लभस्व जित्वा शत्रून् भुङ्क्ष्व राज्यं समुद्रं समृद्धं मयैवैते निहता पूर्वमेव निमित्तमात्रं भव सव्यसाचिन्. Translation: Therefore get up and prepare to fight. After conquering your enemies, you will enjoy flourishing kingdom. They are already put to death by my arrangement, and you, Savyasachin, can be but an instrument in the fight. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. So Savya Sachin means one who can shoot the arrow very expertly. So Arjuna was a great warrior, right? he had benedictions from many, like from Lord Shiva, Lord Indra, and he was able to even in the chapter 6 he says, like, I can even control the wind, but I can't control this mind. That means he's able to even have his control over material nature also, because he was such a great warrior. That is why Krishna, and like he can use I think he can use in the two different hands for shooting the arrows. With the both he can do the with the bow and arrow, you can do it. So that is why he's called as Savyasachi. So here Krishna says that you have, so that is what everything is already planned. So he showed that thing to Arjuna, that all the people are anyways going to die, so you are only for namesake, no, like basically you are going to be an instrument only. So just become, Krishna always like when people are the devotees, they work according to Krishna's plan. And Prabhupada says Krishna is always planning something, because for any small thing, even in material world, even anything, can we do anything without plan? Any small thing? Or if you have if somebody is coming to your house also, if you have to prepare something, should we not plan what you have to prepare or you have to get, right? So just imagine Krishna has to maintain this whole universe, not only here, the material and spiritual world, and he had to even supply to the tiniest insect and the food. He's the maintainer of everyone. So how much he needs to plan? But Krishna's, we cannot. It can be sometimes contradictory, that Krishna's plan may look like that is something bad, but then everything is always for good only. Whatever Krishna does, because whoever died in the war, finally they all got moksha, no? It is not bad actually in that way, because otherwise who knows, they would have taken still more many lives to get that. But then whoever died also, they all got a moksha. So that is why we cannot never understand the plan of Krishna. So whatever happens in life, if we take it like a plan of God, so then there is no room for anxiety also, right? Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
द्रोणं च भीष्मं च जयद्रथं च कर्णं तथान्यानपि योधवीरान् मया हतं स्वं जहिमा व्यधिष्ठा युध्यस्वजेतासि रणे सपत्नान्. Translation: Drona, Bhishma, Jayadratha, Karna, and the other great warriors have already been destroyed by me. Therefore, kill them and do not be disturbed. Simply fight, and you will vanquish your enemies in battle. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So all great warriors, no, like Bhishma, Drona, Jayadratha, all are big people are there on his side. So it is said that Bhishma Deva is equal to 25,000 Arjunas. So just imagine, Arjuna would have died a long back, but only he survived because of Lord Krishna. No, Krishna here indirectly is we can understand, he want to give the credit, though he is only doing everything, but he wants to give the credit to devotees. That is why if somebody, anything success has come or anything, the pure devotees, they always think that it is mercy of Krishna. Because unless Krishna has given, if their mercy is there, how can somebody become glorious? No? It's otherwise impossible. And Prabhupada, that is why the great acharyas, they say that even Prabhupada is a Satyavesha avatar. The senior devotees, like they say, he is a Shakyavesha avatar of the Lord, means empowered, specially empowered. If that is not there, how can a person can do? I mean, a normal human being, which is impossible. Can anyone of us do even 10% of what Prabhupada has done? How much ever? I mean, there may be many spiritual masters who have come, like Prabhupada after that also, right? Many people would have, I mean, there are many or big good orators who can speak and they can do the even the Krishna conscious and all that, but nobody can make in such a big way what Prabhupada had done, right? So this is something where we can understand that Krishna is directly involved. So otherwise it is not possible. Here also, uh, the Pandavas side, there were only 7 Akshahunis, and then the Kauravas, there were 11, and also such a big people like Drona. He's the one who taught them all the uh, military secrets and these things. How can, being all the stronger side on the the Kaurava side, how did they lose? Only because the Lord Krishna was there on Pandava side. Otherwise, it is not possible, no? It was impossible otherwise. The Lord is so kind and merciful to his devotees that he wants to give credit to devotees who carry out his plan according to his desire. Since everything happens according to Lord's plan, one should understand the plans of Supreme Personality of Godhead through guidance of spiritual master. So when we are in under a sampradaya, we are under taking guidance from a spiritual master, or taking the direct lesson from who is coming from the disciplic succession, then only we are able to understand. We can openly discuss with them what is our problem, and they are able to help us, right? So otherwise we can't. We get entangled. We may get entangled in like because it will be more of our mental concoction. Whatever we think it is right. So because we are all under modes of the three modes. No, I mean, basically we'll be in mode of passion and ignorance. So only spiritual master can help us to understand the things in right perspective. So follow the plans and succeed in the struggle of existence. So this material life itself is a struggle, right? It's not easy. So that is why we say samsara dava nalalida loka tranaya karunya gana ganatvam. It's like a forest fire. Prabhupada says that this is a problem that we get. I mean, nobody intends that there should be a forest fire, but forest fire just happens, right? So similarly, the problems in material world just comes like that. But then if we follow the plans, how do we, can someone tell me how can we follow the plans of Krishna? How do we uh, follow the plans? How can we execute this practically in our life? How can we practically think of following Krishna's plan?
But me, when I'm doing devotion service, Mataji, some
Hmm.
thought will be like, inserted accordingly. I'll just follow it. I mean, I'm just doing this.
Yeah. So basically, it is said whatever we do, it should be supported by the sadhu, scriptures, and shastra, right? Sadhu, guru, sadhu, shastra. So then it is right what you are doing. So whatever you are thinking you are doing right, is it the same thing told by shastras?
No.
Is it the same guru is telling? Is it the same shastra? So then we know, okay, I'm on a right path. So that is the way, right? So that way we can see like whatever we are following, are we like Prabhupada has given some instructions, are we following in that way, or I'm doing my own mental concoction? So that way we can understand. So Krishna's answer to Arjuna question, I am, uh, so Krishna says that I am Kala Rupa and my mission is to destroy everything, all people except the Pandavas. So this indicates even if Arjuna did not want to fight, they are going to die anyway. Because if not Arjuna, then Krishna would use somebody else because he has already planned that this thing has to happen. So in Katha Upanishad, it said all Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, and everyone else are devoured like a meal by the Supreme as the all devouring Jain because they were all going into his mouth. So it's compared to a meal. So Krishna says that I have already destroyed all your enemies, become my instrument, and fight and win the glory. So Arjuna's motivation is what? To fulfill Lord's desire. Otherwise, what is the motivation? There is no motivation. Because if he has to think on his own, then he would not fight. Because Arjuna never wanted to fight. No, he didn't wanted to harm his own people. Why would he want to kill all of them? He would not want. But only his motivation is I am doing for Krishna, right? So karmanye vadikaraste mapaleshu kadachana. So he's only doing as a matter of duty without being attached to result because he is not the cause. That is what the shloka says. Ma, ma kar, karmanye vadikaraste mapaleshu kadachana ma karma pala heturbuhu ma te sangosya karmani. Hmm. Because you are not the cause. So if you just imagine you're doing something. Because most of the time, if we take up something a big task, or in the material life also, we may get into anxiety, right? Even but how can we be without anxiety? Only when you think that you are only having responsibility to do that work efficiently, but leave it the result to Krishna. Why? Because you are not the cause, right? You are not the cause, and we are not. And Krishna also says in the last line that mate sangosya karmani. Don't think that because you are not cause, then stop doing action. We can't do that. We have to perform. So similarly, the Arjuna is doing whatever Krishna is desiring here. So Lord's plan is very specific in material world. So what is the sign of intelligence? So if we are intelligent, this can be developed, that intelligence can be developed when one is in mode of goodness. So when for developing mode of goodness, we need to be very association becomes very important. To whom do we associate with, right? Or to even the Shastras also. The Shastras, do we associate with Prabhupada every day by reading his books, or to listening Bhagavatam, or to like how every day do we associate? So then we get the intelligence to recognize that the whole world is moving under the plan of the Lord. See, more and more your faith grows. That is a sign that you are really advancing, or your how your intelligence is also, it is improving day by day, because how much faith you are getting on Guru and the Shastras. So what is a fool's mentality? They don't have any plan. They think that there is no plan behind the creation. So the creation just like that happened, right? Some explosion happened and the world created. So all are accidental. And Krishna also says in chapter 16 that this world has come out of lust. That is what the demons say. So it is not so, right? So, and the scientist says, Prabhupada says, perhaps or maybe, right? They never say exact, but you can see in the Shastras that nowhere Krishna says that perhaps or maybe. Everything is sure, 100%. Like this is the way, this is it is. This is how many species are there? The 84 lakh species are mentioned in the Shastras, how they are formed. I mean, everything is mentioned. It is not like a something guessing work is not there. No, Shastras are the truth. So nimittam, just become my instrument, become a nimitta matra. Savyasachi means one who fights ambidextrously with the left or right hand. So the next section is Arjuna's prayers. Arjuna tremblingly prays. Arjuna then begs forgiveness for his offenses. Arjuna fearfully requests Krishna to again reveal his two-armed form as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So initially he appreciates. How does this go usually? So when he sees, though he is afraid, he wants to praise the Lord, and then he asks forgiveness because he had been, and then finally he asks to show the two-handed form. So because he no more want to see the horrible form of the Lord. Yes, Mataji.
Sanjaya Uvacha एतत् श्रुत्वा वचनं केशवस्य कृताञ्जलिर्वेपमाना किरीटी नमस्कृत्वा भूयायेवाह कृष्णं सगद्गदं भीतभीतप्रणम्य.
Yeah, so
Translation.
this is in, yeah.
Yes, Mataji, continue.
No.
Sanjaya said to Dhritarashtra, O king, after hearing these words from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the trembling Arjuna offered obeisances with folded hands again and again. He fearfully spoke to Lord Krishna in a flattering voice as follows.
So this is again, it's like a not as a friend, no? He's now like becoming like a very humble position Arjuna is taking here, and very fearfully he's talking to Krishna. Yes, Mataji.
Arjuna Uvacha Stani Hrishikesh Tava Prakitya Jagat Prahrushyatyanurajyate cha Rakshamsi Bhitani Diso Dravanti Sarve Namasyanti cha Siddha Sangha. Translation. O Hrishikesa, the world becomes joyful upon hearing your name, and thus everyone becomes attached to you. Although the perfected beings offer you their respectful homage, the demons are afraid and they flee here and there. All this is rightly done. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. So now Arjuna is very much convinced that okay, whatever Krishna is doing is really good, because he could see that the demons here are all afraid, and then the perfected beings, means the demigods, they're all paying the homage, that is the paying obeisances to the Lord. So they are not afraid. They know that it's all plan of God. Yeah, though they're afraid also, they know that everything is for good. So that is what Arjuna also knows. And the pure devotees, they all they can understand that it is a plan of, I mean, many times even the devotees cannot understand, right, that it is a plan of Lord. But I mean, they can understand. That is why, I mean, sorry, they can understand that it's the plan of the Lord, but they won't come to anxiety because of that, when they understand that it's all plan of Lord. Like when even so if we see even NAD Prabhuji, right, our temple president. So when just before this, when Corona started, so because he was actively engaged in, I mean, in preaching to the colleges, like in ITs, he used to go there and teach like science and spirituality topics, because you can't directly take Bhagavad Gita, they will not allow you. So he used to name it as science and spirituality, and he used to take for children, the children there. So what happened when Corona came? So he had to stop it. So immediately, right? I mean, everything was stopped because it was all offline he was doing. Online was not there till that time. And then what he did, so what else to do? He had many students in US. I mean, who was his students here before, and then now they are working. They all called, okay, you come here, you can do some preaching there. And he had applied for the visa, but then his visa got rejected, and he was very sad that time. But then see, Krishna had a different plan, because we didn't had a temple that time, no. I mean, Mangaluru was not having a temple. Now also, like it's in a rented place, but now the land is being taken, and he's so much endeavor has been put for bringing up, and so much of like where the devotees are trying to get donations, so that, because it's a big project and it has to come up. So but then there, what we can understand is Krishna has a better plan, no. If he had been to the other country, maybe this would have not happened, but that time maybe he would have felt like, why this is happening, why Krishna is not willing. So similarly, we also, many times in our life, it can happen. It may look like something not good, whatever happening in life is not favorable for us at that moment. But then Krishna always has a better plan, because he says surudam sarvabhutanam, so I am a well-wisher of every living entity. So Krishna can never think of doing bad to any living entity, no, he cannot. So here what Arjuna says, that everything is, whatever is Krishna is doing is, everything is right. He is convinced now. So that is how he gains confidence to fight again. Huh? Yeah.
तस्माच्च नमेरन्महात्मन् गरीयसे ब्रह्मणोऽप्यादिकर्त्रे अनन्तदेवे स जगन्निवासा त्वमक्षरं सदसत्तत्परं यत्. Translation: O great one, greater even than Brahma, you are the original creator. Why then should they not offer their respectful obeisances unto you? O limitless one, God of gods, refugee of the universe, you are the invincible source, the cause of all causes, transcendental to this material manifestation. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So we understood, right? Yesterday also we saw, like, where he says that why can't Brahma pay obeisances? Because Brahma is also born from the Lord, like, who is from Garbhodaka Shai Vishnu, who is a plenary portion of Krishna. And Lord Shiva is born from Lord Brahma, though he is more powerful than Lord Brahma, because Lord Brahma is a living entity, but Lord Shiva is much in a higher position, because he also is he is a Vishnu Tattva and Jiva Tattva both. So, and here, that is why can't they also pay obeisances onto you? He says. And here, Arjuna uses the Tvamaksharam, means you are Aksharam. Uh, so Akshara means that which cannot be distracted. So we know that Kshara, the two types of beings we see in spiritual world, Kshara and Akshara. So Kshara means the one who don't fall down. I mean Akshara, and Kshara means the fallible. That is the material world. The people in material world, we are Kshara. but Lord is above that Adokshaja. He's, yes.
Tvamadideva Purusha Purana Tvamasya Viswasya Param Nidhanam Vetasi Vedyam Cha Param Cha Dhama Tvaya Tatam Vesvamananta Rupa. Translation: You are the original personality of Godhead, the oldest, the ultimate sanctuary of this manifested cosmic world. You are the knower of everything, and you are all that is knowable. You are the supreme refugee above the material modes, O limitless form. This whole cosmic manifestation is pervaded by you. Hare Krishna.
Hare. So whenever there is an annihilation, everything goes into the Garbhodaka Shai Vishnu, right? All will be, we know that whenever the creation happened, then again they come and they start from where they stopped. So the resting place, the final resting place is that is what is used here, the Nidhanam. It is the Lord, no? And even the Brahman effulgence, Prabhupada says that is also like a resting place. That effulgence also is resting on Lord only, because that is coming out of Lord. So he is the knower of everything. And if there is an end for knowledge, that is also Krishna. Yes, Mataji.
वायुर्यमोऽग्निर्वरुणः प्रजापतिस्त्वं प्रपितामहश्च नमो नमस्तेऽस्तु सहस्रकृत्वा पुनश्च भूयोऽपि नमो नमस्ते. Translation: You are air and you are the supreme controller. You are fire, you are water, and you are the moon. You are Brahma, the first living creature, and you are the great grandfather. I therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto you 1,000 times and again and yet again. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Again and again, he's paying obeisances to the Supreme Lord. So he's, yes, he's air, he's fire, he's water. Where else Krishna mentions about this? That Krishna is this air, fire, water. Where else? Have you read anywhere else where Krishna says this? Where else? Any other place we see air, fire, water? Bhumirapo
Cross-coding.
nalo vayuh
Cross-coding.
kammano buddhirev cha ahankara iti yamme bhinna prakritirashtada. Right? Krishna says, I think it's in chapter 7, no? Where Krishna says that there are my energies only. Yeah, it comes in 7 years. So all material energies, the air, water, fire, earth, ether, everything is coming from me. So that is the same thing, because he's able to see all that. Arjuna is able to see all those things in the universal form of the Lord. So that is why he's saying that you are that, all that. And you are Brahma also. Yes, because it is said that when Brahma is actually is not a some living entity, it's actually said to be a position. So if somebody, a capable person, is not found for that position, then Lord Krishna, he himself takes he takes a position of Brahma. So that is why he is said to be the first living creature, because otherwise the Lord was there before him, the Lord. So Lord does not belong to a living creature. He is a Vishnu Tattva. So the first living creature is Brahma. So all are paying obeisances. Yes.
नमः पुरस्तादथ पृष्ठतस्ते नमोऽस्तु ते सर्वत एव सर्वा अनन्तवीर्यामितविक्रमस्त्वं सर्वं समाप्नोषि ततोऽसि सर्वा. Translation: Obeisances to you from the front, from behind, and from all sides. O unbounded power, you are the master of limitless might. You are all pervading, and thus you are everything. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. You are all pervading. So this Krishna was telling in the previous chapter that I'm all pervading. But now he is exhibiting how is he all pervading, because wherever he sees from one end to other end in the sky, so he's only able to see the Lord and the different planets, demigods, everything at one place. No, so he's all pervading. And Krishna, Arjuna, out of ecstasy, he is offering again and again the respects to the Supreme Lord. So Arjuna prayer in 38, he says, you are the ultimate rest of everything and all knowledge. And in Shloka 39, he says, you are the essence of everything. And in 40, he's offering obeisances. I offer obeisances from front, behind, and all sides. This is out of love. Yes, Mataji.
सखेऽपि मत्वा प्रसभं यदुक्तं हे कृष्ण हे यादव हे सखेति अजानता महिमानं तवेदं मया प्रमादात् प्रणयेन वापि यच्चापहासात्तमसत्कृतोऽसि विहारशय्यासनभोजनेषु एको न वाप्यच्युत तत्समक्षं तत्क्षामये त्वामहमप्रमेयम्.
So beautifully sung, no? Mataji singing very nicely.
Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah, please read.
Translation. I have in the past addressed you as O Krishna, O Yadava, O my friend, without knowing your glories. Please forgive whatever I may have done in madness or in love. I have dishonored you many times while relaxing or while lying on the same bed or eating together, sometimes alone and sometimes in front of many friends. Please excuse me for all my offenses. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, now he's thinking, he's recalling all those things, whatever he has done, right? Thinking that Krishna is a friend. Actually, he has forgot that Krishna makes him forget. Otherwise, how can, if you always know that you are supreme, you are with Supreme Lord, then that friendly gesture won't be there, no? That because if you, even the devotees, like they don't want even to go to Vaikunta because there that the Madhurya and Sakya is not there in Vaikunta, because the Lord is served with awe and reverence. Means he does not. I mean, you can't have that friendly relationship. It is only like a Sakya. I mean, the Shantarasa or the Seva. What is that? Dasya. With the Dasya Bhav, we can have the relationship with the Lord, because Krishna there has in the expanded form of Narayana. In Narayana form, you can't have. And many times, like Krishna, when he will do the Rasa Leela. After Rasa Leela, when he has to end, because these gopis are, they, even Radharani, they don't want to leave Krishna only. I mean, it goes for many years. Actually, Rasa Leela is said to be because there in spiritual world, the time is also we can't. There is no past, present. No, it goes for long time, but then they don't want to end. Then what? How Krishna will escape from that? He immediately takes form of Narayana. So then what happens? They all pay obeisances because they don't want. I mean, they are afraid. So by when he takes the Vishnu form, immediately they pay obeisances and they leave from there. So Krishna says no in chapter 4. ये यथा मां प्रपद्यन्ते तां सतैव भजाम्यहम् मम वर्त्मानुवर्तन्ते मनुष्याः पार्थ सर्वशः. So however there is a reciprocation from our side, so Krishna similarly Krishna also reciprocate. So how much ever we with the love, with the sincerity we chant, Krishna starts reciprocating. So then only we come to know, like we will get the proper guidance from Krishna when we are really sincere. No, Krishna reciprocates to his devotees. So here we see that Arjuna is, because he feels that he is a supreme Lord, now he is repenting for whatever happened, because he says that many times we have slept on the same bed, eating together, and he had, I mean, made fun also of Krishna. So he's feeling all that offenses, and he's feeling like I have done so much of sin. So actually, Krishna will not think anything bad of him, but Arjuna feels that I have done so much of sin. Like, yes.
पितासि लोकस्य चराचरस्य त्वमस्य पूज्यश्च गुरुर्गरीयान् त्वत्समोऽस्त्यप्यधिकः कुतोऽन्यो लोकत्रयेऽप्य प्रतिमप्रभाव. Translation. You are the father of this complete cosmic manifestation of the moving and the non-moving. You are its worshipable chief, the supreme spiritual master. No one is greater than you, nor can anyone be one with you. How then could there be anyone greater than you within the three worlds, O Lord of immeasurable power? Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Further glorifying the Lord, you are everything. Yes. Read, Mataji.
तस्मात् प्रणम्य प्रणिधाय कायं प्रसादये त्वामहमी समीड्यं पितेव पुत्रस्य सखेव सख्यु प्रियायार्हसि देव सोढुम्. Translation: You are the Supreme Lord, to be worshipped by every living being. Thus I fall down to offer you my respectful obeisances and ask your mercy. As a father tolerates the impudence of his son, a friend the impertion, impertinence of a
Impertinence.
friend, or a husband the familiarity of his wife, please tolerate the wrongs I may have done you. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So yeah, so we can. So how he's saying, like, because we can relate with Krishna with any different. We can have any relationship with Krishna because Krishna reciprocates in that way. Because Hanuman, he wanted to see, he can only see Lord Ram. So Krishna comes in that form only to him because whatever the devotee wish, he reciprocates in that way. So similarly, he says here that as a father, okay, how, because a father, whatever a son can do any abominable act, but then father always forgives, no? Father always forgives because he gives him another chance. So similarly, he's asking him to, and even a friend is very rude to you, also then we forgive. I mean, one time you may get angry, but then again you forget it because we remember the best times we had or the good times. So by seeing that, you forget those things. So similarly, he's asking, please forgive me for all my that I have done.
अदृष्टपूर्वं हृषितोऽस्मि दृष्ट्वा भयेन चाप्रव्यथितं मनो मे तदेव मे दर्शय देवरूपं प्रसीद देवेश जगन्निवासा. After seeing this universal form, which I have never seen before, I am gladdened, but at the same time, my mind is disturbed with fear. Therefore, please bestow your grace upon me and reveal again your form as the personality of Godhead, O Lord of Lords, O abode of the universe. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So now he praised everything, and now he's saying, I'm really afraid. Yeah, I'm gladdened, but my mind is very disturbed. Because how can you can't associate with that form, no? You can't do anything, you can't have a sweet relationship. So he's saying, please come back, please show some mercy on me and show your the other form, reveal your again the form of Krishna. So request to withdraw the fearful form and reveal the form as personality of Godhead. So Arjuna requests to see four-handed form indicates that all form are one with Krishna. So even the Narayana forms, it is coming, all the four-handed forms of Narayana is coming from Krishna. So different Narayanas are named according to different configuration of the four hands. So that Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Padma, the holding, no, the holding, it is said that it changes. It changes according to different. The purpose is different of that particular avatar. So so there are different Narayanas. It may look similar, but then the position of the hands will be different. The configurations that they have. So indicates Arjuna is afraid and joyful simultaneously. So joyful because he is gladdened by knowing his friend's opulence as Supreme Personality of Godhead and his ability to show the universal form. Why afraid? Because of so many offenses. He had not committed any offense. He feels like that. So universal form is a temporary form, but Vaikuntha form is transcendental, four-handed and eternal. So all the Krishna's expansions or avatars eternally exist in the spiritual sky. So Krishna can assume any form and is asked here to show his Narayana form. So he's asking, let me see your Narayana form of, okay.
किरीटिनं गदिनं चक्रहस्ताम् इच्छामि त्वां द्रष्टुमहं तथैव तेनैव रूपेण चतुर्भुजेन सहस्रबाहो भव विश्वमूर्ते. Translation: O universal form, O thousand-armed Lord, I wish to see you in your four-armed form, with helmeted head and with club, wheel, conch and lotus flower in your hands. I long to see you in that form. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So now he wants to see the four-handed form. Can you read, Mataji?
In the Brahma Samhita 5.39, it is stated, Ramadi Mutishu Kala Niyamena Tishtan. The Lord is eternally situated in hundreds and thousands of forms, and the main forms are those like Rama, Nrsimha, Narayana, etc. Though there are innumerable forms, Krishna is the original personality of Godhead, assuming his temporary universal form. He is now asking to see the form of Narayana, a spiritual form. Krishna is not different from his plenary expansions, and he is God in any of his innumerable forms. In all of these forms, he is fresh like a young man. That is the constant feature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One who knows Krishna becomes free at once from all contamination of the material world. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. So the next section, only pure devotees can see Krishna's two-armed supreme form. So Krishna finally says, like after showing the four-handed, then he comes to the two-handed and he says that only this form is very rare. Krishna withdraws his universal form, shows Arjuna his four-handed form, and finally his two-handed armed form. Krishna's two-armed form can be directly seen only through pure undivided devotional service. The last three shlokas in that. Yeah.
Bhagavan Uvacha Maya Prasanena Tavajanedam Rupam Param Darsitam Yogat Tejo Mayam Viswamanantamadhyam Yanme Tvadanyena Nadrushta Purvam. Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, My dear Arjuna, happily have I shown you, by my internal potency, this supreme universal form within the material world. No one before you has ever seen this primal form, unlimited and full of glaring effulgence. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So here now Krishna is agreed to show. So what we can understand, so whatever Arjuna is asking, right? So that is why it is said. So Krishna does not easily accept your devotional service. I mean, he does not grant devotional service to someone because what happens, he gets so addicted to that the person of his, because of out of love he's performing the devotional service. So he gets purchased. So so you can see here he's just like a puppet. Krishna is asking, he explained his opulences in chapter 10, and Krishna asked, I want to see how you entered in cosmic world. I mean, in a cosmic form, how did you come? So I want to see that form. Then he started showing the universal form, no? And then later now he's asking to show the four-handed. So he shows that. And after that, he asked him for the two-handed, that also he shows. So we can see how reciprocating is Lord Krishna. No? Yes.
न वेदयज्ञाध्ययनैर्न दानै न च क्रियाभिर्न तपोभिरुग्रै एवं रूपा सख्यहं नृलोके द्रष्टुं त्वदन्येन कुरु प्रवीरा. Translation. O best of the Kuru warriors, no one before you has ever seen this universal form of mine. For neither by studying the Vedas, nor by performing sacrifices, nor by charities or similar activities can this form be seen. Only you have seen this. Hare Krishna.
So only he has seen. Also, whoever has come, like the devatas, we saw that the pure devotees, because they are also devotees of the Lord, so they were all able to see. And because of Arjuna, they were able to see. Otherwise, they were not. So this only is shown in the material world. And yeah, Krishna says that this is just by studying Vedas and all, it is not possible. Otherwise, there can be many mystic yogis, but for no one, Krishna has shown this universal form. So only to his pure devotee, the Arjuna. Yes, Mataji.
माते व्यथा मा च विमूढभावो दृष्ट्वा रूपं घोरमिदृग्नमेदं व्यपेतभिप्रीतमना पुनस्त्वं तदेव मे रूपमिदं प्रपश्य. Translation. You have been perturbed and bewildered by seeing this horrible feature of mine. Now let it be finished. My devotee, be free again from all disturbances. With a peaceful mind, you can now see the form of your desire. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So Arjuna, Krishna also accepts that that was not really pleasing to see, right? because you are disturbed. So now let this all finish. I will show you the four-handed form. And then he shows him the beautiful form of Narayana, right? The four-handed Shankha, Chakra, Shankha, Chakra, Gada, and Padma.
Sanjaya Uvacha इत्यर्जुनं वासुदेवस्तथोक्त्वा स्वकं रूपं दर्शयामास भूय आश्वासयामास च वीतमेनं भूत्वा पुनः सौम्य वपुर्महात्मा. Translation. Sanjaya said to Dhritarashtra, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, while speaking thus to Arjuna, displayed his real four-armed form, and at last he showed him his two-armed form, thus encouraging the fearful Arjuna. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So he showed the four-handed and then he came back to the two-handed. So Krishna, we know like how he appeared in the womb of Devaki, right? He appears with a four-handed form only. This is the form which Krishna takes in the before he becomes a baby, no? And then Saumya Vapu, it is said here in the previous. So he's called as Bhutva Puna again, right? Saumya Vapur Mahatma become like he becomes he takes a beautiful form of a Krishna, two-handed form of the Lord.
Arjuna Uvacha Drishtvedam Manusham Rupam Tava Saumyam Janatana Idanimasmi Samvritta Sacheta Prakritim Gataha. Translation. When Arjuna thus saw Krishna in his original form, he said, O Janardana, seeing this human-like form, so very beautiful, I am now composed in mind and I am restored to my original nature. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So now he has become peaceful and his mind is no more disturbance because he is happy that he could again get his the same relationship he can have with the Lord. No, so he got the two-handed form of Lord to see.
Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Sudurdarsamidam Rupam Drushtavanasi Yanmama Deva Apyasya Rupasya Nityam Darsami Kankshinaha. Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, my dear Arjuna, this form of mine you are now seeing is very difficult to behold. Even the demigods are ever seeking the opportunity to see this form, which is so dear. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So what is it? Sudurdarshamidam. So Sudurdarsha means very difficult. It's not easy to see two-handed form because Krishna, this two-handed form of Krishna, where Krishna comes in Dwapara Yuga, this also not in all Dwapara Yuga it comes. So it is very rare. Even Devatas, we know when Krishna was about to be born in the womb of Devaki, so all devatas were waiting and they were paying obeisances. We know that, right? So how they were paying obeisance and waiting. So Krishna, this form of Lord is very difficult to see because when there is a problem in the material world, everybody approach the Kshirodaka Shai Vishnu. So you can't go to Krishna. So only the devotees who have the relationship with the Lord, with the Madhurya and with the Sakya, right, the higher rasas, they are allowed there in the spiritual world. Yeah, they have all the five rasas are in you can have with Lord, but then the Krishna form is not easy for others to perceive. So and it needs Krishna's mercy. Otherwise, if Krishna wishes to see, then we can see. So otherwise, it is not possible. No. Mataji.
Naham Vedaina Tapasa Nadanena Nachechaya Sakya Evam Vido Drashtum Drishtavanasi Mam Yatha. Translation. The form you are seeing with your transcendental eyes cannot be understood simply by studying the Vedas, nor by undergoing serious penances, nor by charity, nor by worship. It is not by these means that one can see me as I am. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So not by studying this, many places Krishna mentions that just by studying Vedas, nobody can understand. Only by bhakti, bhaktya mam abhijanati, not by the performing. And Krishna also says that and where Krishna says that you get all the benefit by just doing the devotional service. Instead, I mean, whatever the people get by doing the other sacrifice, charity, these things, that benefit can be get even by the doing the devotional service. So Krishna can be understood only by unalloyed devotional service.
Bhaktya tvananya Bhaktya tvananyaya sakya ahamevam vidojuna Gnatum drashtum cha tatvena praveshtum cha parantapa. Translation: My dear Arjuna, only by undivided devotional service can I be understood as I am, standing before you, and can thus be seen directly. Only in this way can you enter into the miseries of my understanding. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So even the mysteries of Bhagavad Gita or about Krishna, we can only understand by undivided devotional service, it is said. So otherwise, it is not possible. How much ever if somebody he can be a big scholar in material world, if he reads Bhagavad Gita, he cannot understand, because otherwise everybody can preach Bhagavad Gita. No, why is it required guru? Because they know what is the behind. I mean, what is the real meaning behind that? What is Krishna trying to convey? Just like that, if we read like some other novels or materialist books, it is anybody can read and understand, but it is not like that. That is why we need a guru to understand, because they know exactly what it is, because they are in that platform. They are above three modes. This has to be taught by someone who is not in a material modes of nature, somebody who is already suffering in a material mode. How can that person do something better to the other person? How can he preach? No? Only if somebody is coming from a disciplic succession, then that person can tell. Because Prabhupada says that I am not saying anything. I am only like, I'm like a postman. I am giving what is being given from my the disciplic succession. That means that the acharyas. So whatever is given. So how the we see in the chapter 4 also, where Krishna says how this is coming through disciplic succession, no? How it was the knowledge was given to Raja Rishis and how it passed on. So it has to come in that line only. Only then we are able to, and if we follow their instructions, then it is possible for us to understand the Lord. Otherwise, it is impossible.
Matkarma krunmatparamo matbhakta sangavajjitaha nirvairas sarvabhuteshu yasamamiti pandava. Translation: My dear Arjuna, one who is engaged in my pure devotional service, free from the contaminations of previous activities and from mental speculation, who is friendly to every living entity, certainly comes to me. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Hare Krishna. So Prabhupada gives very big explanation for this 11.55 and 54. I request all of you, please read, okay? The 54 and 55, very important shlokas. Please read the purport completely, because it will take a lot of time for us here. It may need more than half an hour if we have to do. So I request before next class, please complete this reading. And so much Prabhupada has given in this about the devotional service to the Lord. So here, only with the pure devotion, which is free from contamination of previous activities and mental speculation. So only those people can, and who is a friendly to every living entity. Means you should not treat any animal, because by any living entity has to be seen in a sense like it's a part and parcel of the Lord. So that person is very pleasing for Krishna, and he has to be free from all mental speculation. So only then one can come to Krishna. So characteristic of Ananya Bhakti. Ananya Bhakti. Mat Karma Kran, engaging in doing Krishna's work. Mat Paramo, make me the supreme goal. Mat Bhakta, engaged in my devotional service. So working for Krishna, and then Saiga Varjitaha. Saiga, no, it is Mat Karma Kran, Mat Parama, Mat Bhakta, Sanga Varjitaha. Free from contamination of fruitive acts and mental speculation, not engaging in something for some benefits. So that is called as fruitive activities. Doing some sacrifices for some material desires, that should not be there. but then everything can be used in Krishna's service. Nirvaira sarva bhuteshu, become friendly to all living beings. So then important shloka, you can learn this shloka. Mat karma krun mat paramaha mad bhakta sangha varjitaha nirvaira sarva bhuteshu yes samameti pandava, right? Yeah, yes samameti pandava. Yeah. So only most purified devotional service, free from jnana and karma, executed without envy, can bring one to understanding of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So the summary of this chapter: Krishna is the origin of all manifestation, the universal form, the form of time, the four-handed form also of Vishnu. Krishna is not a manifestation of virginal Viswarupa or Vishnu, right? Though there are hundreds and thousands of Vishnus, a devotee is pleased by original two-handed form of Shyamasundara. Premanjana churita bhakti vilochanena santa sadaiva hridayeshu vilokayanti yam Shyamasundara achintya gunaswarupam govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. They want to see that Shyamasundara form of the Lord. That's what even Lord Brahma says in his prayers. So in Brahma Samhita, it is stated that those who are attached to Shamsundara form of Krishna in love and devotion can see him always within their heart and cannot see anything else. So with this, we complete chapter 11. So sections, we saw how Arjuna's request and Krishna's description of the universal form. Sanjaya then describes what Arjuna was able to see of the universal form. And then Kalu, I am time, become my instrument. And then Arjuna's prayer. And then Krishna says, only pure devotees can see my form, right? Yeah. So yes, this we complete. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah ananta koti vaishnavandiki jai namacharyas thakur ki jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
See, people can't wait
Hare
after
Krishna.
8 o'clock. No, till 8 o'clock they'll be, and then after 8, a few people leave. They can't wait more than 1 hour. Yeah. Okay. Any questions on today's chapter?
Mataji, you said Lord Shiva is born out from Brahma, right? And also from Krishna in one of the last chapter, I think. We were discussing that from forehead Lord Shiva has come out. So, and since he's human being, but he's got more gunas, 74 or
No,
something.
he's
Right?
not coming from Krishna actually. That is told about the four. He's coming from the sages he was talking about, who is coming from mind. Lord Shiva is born of Brahma only.
Okay. But he's got more gunas, Mataji, when compared to
Yeah.
the Lord Shiva.
Yeah, that is actually, it is, yeah, he has more gunas. Has 55 qualities compared to Brahma, who has only 50 qualities. So that is why he is not a Jiva Tattva. He is more powerful, though Lord Shiva. Because sometimes, even in Brahma Samhita, we see it is difficult to understand Lord Shiva, because he is more like Krishna, like a milk turning into a curd. So Krishna himself is taking a form of, for when it comes for destruction, he takes as a Lord Shiva. So he's also very much powerful only.
Okay. Thanks, Mataji.
But then he's a Jiva Tattva is there, because we see that he also comes into like sometimes bewilderment, or he also does mistake, or he gets angry, right? But that never happens with Vishnu. These gunas never, for Krishna is above these gunas. But then all the other devatas, they come under that. We see that. Yeah. That you may know that pastime of Durvasa Muni, when he wanted to test who is greater, right?
Yes,
So,
Mataji.
you know that, no? So, yeah. So first he goes to Lord Brahma and he does not pay obeisances. And Brahma immediately, he's a father, right? So Bhrigu Muni, no? It is. It's not Durvasa, I think. Durvasa or Bhrigu?
It's Bhrigu.
Bhrigu, right? Yeah, it's Bhrigu Muni, sorry. So he goes, he's a son of Brahma. But then when he don't pay obeisances, Brahma really gets wild. He gets angry. And then he understands and he leaves. And then he goes to Lord Shiva. There also he uses some bad, he blasphemes Lord Shiva, and then he was about to kill him with his, he wanted to burn him to ashes. Then Mother Parvati stops him not to do that, and Lord Shiva also gets angry. Then he goes and then he stabs on chest of Lord Vishnu. But then Lord Vishnu didn't take it offensive. He says instead he reacts like, "Oh, did it hurt your legs? Foot? Because my chest is really hard." Though Lakshmi herself sits in that place, no? So then he understands who is the Supreme Lord. So, yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Mataji, just Kshiram Yata Tadvikara. Just explain, Mataji, that sloka, that 4 lines, just you explain if possible.
Okay, let's go to that shloka. Let me open that. So can you read, Mataji? You read the shloka and then we can read the translation. Swati Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Sorry, Mataji, sorry. I didn't see.
Okay.
Kshiram Yata Tadvikara Visesha Yogat Sanjayate Nahi Tat Prutakasti Heto Yasambhutamapi Tata Samupaiti Karya Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami.
Yeah. Can read the translation.
Just as milk is transferred into curd by the action of acids, but yet the effect curd is neither same as nor different form. Its cause is milk. So I adore the primeval Lord Govinda, of whom the state of Shambhu is a transformation for the performance of the work of destruction.
Read the purport, Mataji.
The real nature of Shambhu, the presiding deity of Mahesha Dhama, is described. Shambhu is not a second godhead other than Krishna. Those who entertain such discriminating sentiment commit a great offense against the Supreme Lord. The supremacy of Shambhu is subservient to that of Govinda. Hence, they are not really different from each other. The non-distinction is established by the fact that just as milk treated with acid turns into curd, so Godhead becomes a subservient when he himself attains a distinct personality by the addition of a particular element of adulteration. This personality has no independent initiative. The said adulterating principle is constituted of a combination of the stupefying quality of the deluding energy, the quality of non-plenitude of the marginal potency, and a slight degree of ecstatic cum cognitive principle of the plenary spiritual potency. This specifically adulterated reflection of the principle of the subjective portion of the divinity is Sadashiva, in the form of the effulgent masculine symbol God Shambhu, from whom Rudradeva is manifested. In the work of mundane creation as the material cause, in the work of preservation by the destruction of Sandri Asuras, and in the work of destruction to conduct the whole operation, Govinda manifests himself as Guna Avatara in the form of Shambhu, who is the separated portion of Govinda, imbued with the principle of his subjective plenary portion. The personality of the destructive principle in the form of time has been identified with that of Shambhu by scriptural evidences that have been adduced in the commentary. The purport of the Bhagavata slokas, example, Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu, etc., is that Shambhu, in pursuance of the will of Govinda, works in union with his consort Durga Devi by his own time energy. He teaches pious duties, dharma, as stepping stones to the attainment of spiritual service in the various Tantra Shastras, etc., suitable for jivas in different grades of the conditional existence. In obedience to the will of Govinda, Shambhu maintains and fosters the religion of pure devotion by preaching the cult of illusionism, Mayavada, and the speculative Agama Sastras. The 50 attributes of individual souls are manifest in a far vaster measure in Shambhu, and 5 additional attributes not attainable by Jivas are also partly found in him. So Shambhu cannot be called a Jiva. He is the Lord of Jiva, but yet partakes of the nature of a separated portion of Govinda.
Yeah. Is it clear? So basically, he is a not different from Lord, but so God Himself is taking as a subservient position when He wants to do some different activity for a destruction or this thing. So Krishna himself becomes subservient and he takes the role of Shambhu, it is said. So it's also a high position. So Lord Shiva, and not much difference between the Supreme Personality of Godhead, it is said here.
Thank you, Mataji.
Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, if there are no other questions, can we close? Okay. You can say Hare Krishna together. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for joining. And please do take the quiz. Okay.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.